Impact Wrestling has one of the most interesting histories to me than any other promotion in the history of professional wrestling. By all accounts, they should not be alive. They've survived bankruptcies, they've survived bad ownership, they've survived Hulk Hogan, which is more than I can say for some companies. They've survived it all. And I think the reason for that is the talent they've had over the years. The likes of AJ Styles, Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode, James Storm, Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, Eric Young. These names are what's kept Impact alive for so long because they give their heart, their passion, their soul into this company, and it makes the fans want to care. Fast forward to today, that is still the truth. And I think that the man who represented it the most, the man who I would argue is the ace of Impact Wrestling, is the walking weapon, Josh Alexander. And that's what we're here to talk about today. My name is Cosk, welcome to the Wrestling Universe channel, and today we are going to talk about why I think Josh Alexander is the current ace of Impact Wrestling. So, before we start, let's get on the same page. What is an ace? Commonly used in Japan, an ace means the guy of a promotion, and it's used both in America and in Japan. Looking at the States, we have history in, let's say, the WWE, or formerly known as the WWF. We have it with Bruno Sammartino, we have it with Hulk Hogan, we have it with Stone Cold Steve Austin, we have it with John Cena, and currently, we have it with the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. Although, a quick note, Roman Reigns is an exception to the rule in the sense the ace is usually a good guy, whereas Roman Reigns is a notorious bad guy, but that's just the changing of the times. And to move to Japan, we have names like Hiroshi Tanahashi, we have names like Kazuchika Okada. These names sell tickets, these names put butts in seats. These names are what you build your company around, and these names are what the company's TV is built around. These are the most important guys in the wrestling world, and I would argue Josh Alexander fits that caliber. He is vital to Impact Wrestling. He is their top guy, he is their ace. Their TV is built around him, and he is their guy. When I think of Impact Wrestling, the first name I think of is Josh Alexander. When I think of the Impact World Championship, the first name I think of is Josh Alexander. No disrespect to Alex Shelley, he's doing a great job, but that's Josh Alexander's title. And to add further to the point I was making earlier, Josh Alexander has the accolades to back it up. When he first came into the company, he immediately took the company by storm by going after and winning the tag team championships alongside Ethan Page. They would break the record for the longest reigning tag team champions in Impact Wrestling history, which, by the way, is a company with the likes of LAX, Santana and Ortiz, Beer Money, Motor City Machine Guns, and the North were the ones to have the all-time record. Not only that, but when Ethan Page would leave the company in January 2020, instead of wasting his time just plodding along and being just another guy, Josh Alexander would go after the X Division Championship. And after some great matches with TJP, he would go after the championship and win it. He would have a all-time run with the X Division Championship after that, with matches against the likes of TJP in a 60-minute Iron Man match, the longest match in Impact Wrestling history. There's another accolade for you. And amazing matches against the likes of Black Taurus, Jake Something, and all of these guys, Chris Sabin. Every single Impact Plus event, Josh Alexander would kill it against a new challenger, and he would have an all-timer reign with this title. Then he would cash in option C, go after Christian Cage, and he would become the Impact World Champion until Moose got involved, cashed in his Collier Shot Gauntlet trophy, and made Alexander the shortest champion in Impact Wrestling history there's an unfortunate accomplishment for you. But Alexander would not let that stop him. He would go full on psycho at times, trying to avenge his family, trying to get that world championship back. He would nearly get fired in kayfabe at a time where people thought he was leaving for good because his contract was up. But he would end up re-signing with the company. He'd end up going after Moose, and he would win the championship 6 months after he got screwed. He'd become the world champion, and he would have yet another historic reign. He would become the longest reigning Impact champion in the company's history. And he would once again break the record for the longest match in Impact history. Well, at least second place to his first longest match, as it'd go another hour with Mike Bailey. And in this run, he'd have incredible matches. He'd have matches against the likes of not Steve Macklin, because that match never happened, and I really, really wish it did, but we had the Moose match. We had a match against Alex Shelley. We had a match against Rich Swann. We had great matches from Josh Alexander, great programs. A controversial one in the Bully Ray story, which personally I enjoyed, although I was quite mad when Bully Ray got the shot, but I feel like the story played itself well. But overall, my point is, Josh Alexander has the accolades to argue that he is the ace. He has one of the best records in this company's history. Not just the Anthem era, but in this company's history. In the 20 plus history with the likes of AJ Styles, Sting, Kurt Angle. He's broken so many records that these guys could never break, not because of skills, but because of booking, but nonetheless, he is the guy. And this is true hard work. I mentioned booking, but this is true complete hard work by Josh Alexander. He is their guy. He goes out there, busts his ass, and kills it every single time he's on their television. And that's why I think he's the ace of the company. And one final point before I wrap this up is Josh Alexander is loyal to Impact. And that seems like a strange point, but let me explain. Impact Wrestling has been a bit of a revolving door throughout the years, and it's something that the fans have gotten sick of. We've seen names come and go, and you don't know whether your favorites are going to stay with the company for long. Josh Alexander's not like that. Josh Alexander's a man with options. He can go to AEW, he can go to WWE, he can go to New Japan, but he chooses to stay in Impact, and that's what makes him so special. That's why fans love him, because he chooses to be there, because he loves being there. He is the locker room leader of that promotion, and he's an invaluable piece to Impact Wrestling. But what do you guys think? I've been Cosk. Thank you for joining me. Have a nice day.